Mike, you showed up at voluntary workouts, so why was that important for you?
Obviously everyone got their perspective, but just talking to Shadi and telling me, the importance how it is to come and be there, and what he's trying to prove and show to the team. I just thought it was important, one, for me and my relationship with our new head coach, to understand where he's coming from and help him in any way I can to go on this run. So that goes to show, Shadi showed up to my event. Shadi's been around and trying to build relationships. So I feel like we're at the point where, if he asks for, for me to come in for a couple of days to, for it's important for the leadership aspect and be around the guys and show face, and that's something I want to do for my coach or anybody.
Is this also kind of you walking the walk as far as your contract negotiation, wanting to be here more? Obviously, the team wants you here more. Just kind of you walking the walk to do that.
I mean, for me, it's not really like walking the walk. It's just me. Like I always said, I wanted to be a Cowboy and be here. So I feel like it's really just being me. I've been as real as possible since I've been here.
How important would it be to get the contract done before camp?
I mean, extremely important. I mean, you really see a lot of players struggle when guys aren't participating in camp and they get off to slow starts. I don't want to get off to no slow start. I want to hit the ground running and establish ourselves in this league and get some wins early in the season and be in rhythm. You know what I mean? It's going to be extremely important for me to get going and lead these guys.
How much did you reiterate that to Jerry when you guys had a little chat?
We haven't talked since, so I'm pretty sure me and Jerry will talk again soon and obviously talk about those type of things.
Micah, you obviously have a good relationship with Jerry, but also have a good relationship with your agent. How did you kind of balance the feelings when Jerry was talking about the agent and all that stuff?
Yeah, obviously I know Jerry always comes from a good place. I think overall Jerry's one of the better people I know. And also, my agent's one of the better people I know. So, I don't really try to get, it's like when your brother and sister are arguing. You don't really step in the middle or choose sides. You just kind of say, hey, they're coming from this perspective, you're coming from this perspective, and just find a way to meet in the middle. But, there's no hard feelings there at all.
Have you asked him to talk to your agent? Has he talked to your agent?
I have no knowledge whether they've talked or whatever. I'm pretty sure he don't want to update me on every inch of the way or what goes on. But he'll probably call me when it's done.
Have you asked him to talk to your agent to get this done?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, after our initial talk.
In December, you said you didn't need to make $40 million. Do you still feel that way, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, for me, it's all about, before, Miles and Jamar is challenging because you don't need to be there, right? This market set at 35, and then you kind of, it kind of backfires, because you look at the market and you see Miles go, they're like, all right, Max goes and gets 35 and a half, 36. And then you see guys that are older than you, and you can say that, your production and versatility matches what they're doing, and you say, why I would say I'm more in my prime than a lot of these other guys, they're more in the second half of their career. So that's the challenging part, man, just getting fully about what you're worth. I don't really think it's about the dollar. I think about how someone thinks it's all about how much someone thinks you're worth, you know what I mean?
Will it be pressure off your shoulders?
Dak and even Zach about handling contract talks in off-season.
Yeah, man, just staying out the way. For me, I just keep working out, keep grinding, keep pushing forward, doing what I'm doing, and sit patiently so that way I'm ready to play football come July.
We talked with you for a long time about leadership and your development there. Why did you feel it was so important to respond on social media publicly to what DeMarcus said?
Man, for me, it's all about setting the tone about what the locker room is, man. We ain't going to put up with nothing. We ain't going to tolerate the dumb stuff that was going on. Like I said, it's a new regime, new culture. I'm not saying that, other guys weren't culture builders, but, some things are just tired. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if something ain't working, it's good that you got new guys to fix it. I'm just happy that, me, CD, Dak, and, Dak kind of been through two generations, but, just a new regime. Like, guys going to get closer. We're going to relate. It's just kind of hard, like when you got a bunch of guys that are here and they're older, you know what I mean? They're more your highest paid players, and it's hard to get that relationship. But now we've all came in together, established this relationship. We're all around the same age, and we all hang out way more. So Like you saw us working out together. That's not something that I've seen or been a part of here in the past unless you went to OTAs. So just things like that, meeting up, working out together, boxing together, things like that, things that we're going to start, building a camaraderie.
You're here now.
Last one here, guys.
You're here now. Do you plan to continue to stay a part and be part of the offseason program and even training camp if you don't have a contract?
Yeah, I think I'll still be around. For me, like I said, I still got to learn the playbook. And I'm not so much of a iPad person where I can just keep learning. Like I got to walk through it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's so much I might not be on the field part of it, but I'll be there learning. So that way I'm at the least I'm getting prepared to, be ready for week 1.